This is Professor Frimpong Boateng. This is the judge. The judge sat in the courtroom, heard the matter for months, concluded and decided that Aisha Huang go to jail for 4.5 years. Frimpong Boateng sat there and said that, oh, this is, he connoted that it is some corruption and that you should have jailed Aisha Huang for 15 years, that the law says jail him for 15 years. Why are you jailing him for 4 years? Palpable falsity. And with that, he denigrated the judge. The judge doesn't have opportunity. It's a female judge, so you know how passionate I am about women in higher office and political places. It's a female judge as well. The judge does not have the opportunity to come on radio, Joy FM tomorrow morning and come and explain. But you, Frimpong Boateng, you talk on radio and you've denigrated that the judge has children. And what you said about her was false. Palpable false. It just reflects a misunderstanding of the legal process. Today, the judge has spoken, and at the end of my presentation, I'll show you what the judge said. And Frimpong Boateng must bow down his head in shame for denigrating a woman of the same size. He must feel ashamed. Frimpong Boateng, the thing he does is wrong. He's my uncle. On Friday, I'll be seeing him. He knows where, I know where. We'll meet on Friday. But these things he does, they are wrong. We can't build Ghana like that. We can't build a one-man Ghana. Obama said, strong institutions, not strong men. Because strong men will die. They'll be sick. They'll get malaria. They'll get hernia. Institutions don't get malaria. They don't get hernia. Frimpong Boateng just lambasted the lady for nothing based on falsity. Let me start. Show them the video. What did Frimpong Boateng say? Have a look.
Quickly on the Aisha Huang bit and whether it is deterrent enough in terms of going after the key financiers of this illegal mining. I'll take your brief comments on that, then we can go on Zoom and then come to Dr. Bourne.
I believe that the law was changed and the minimum sentence was supposed to be 15 years. So that's what I know. Thank you.
So it should have been 15 years instead of what we had?
Minimum.
Okay. Professor Frimpong Boateng, thank you.
So Frimpong Boateng is on a tangent against government's efforts at Galamsey. There's a lot of water under that bridge, but we won't talk about it now. Let's deal with the facts. He's on a tangent against government's efforts in Galamsey. The government that he was part of, the work he was given, he was not able to do it. He didn't resign. When he didn't get the ministerial position for the second term, he comes to tell us that everybody else is bad. No problem. We understand. We respect him. He's a heart surgeon, wasn't he? Okay. So he says, he's been told that, Professor Frimpong Boateng, it looks like there's a small glimmer of hope. There's a silver lining coming up somewhere. It looks like there's a silver lining. Government has, the courts have jailed, the Attorney General has successfully prosecuted Aisha Huang. She's been jailed for 4.5 years. Then he says, the law has changed. They should have jailed her for 15 years, suggesting that somehow or the other, there's something underhand happening. Clear, palpable ignorance of the procedure of the law. You see, it is important that whatever you are, if you want to come into public office, you have to understand how the system works. Because without understanding how the system works, you can't change it. Choboy doesn't change the system. And Frimpong Boateng is just playing to the gallery and saying that, oh, they should have done it 15 years because the law has been changed. He was denigrating the judge and suggesting to right-meaning people that the judge has done something wrong because that the judge could have jailed the Aisha Huang 15 years and jailed Aisha Huang 4 years. That's the irresponsible thing he said, denigrating the woman because he didn't understand it. Now let me take you into it. Okay, play Frimpong Boateng again. Now when you hear him again, you get the context and I'll take you to the law and show you how ignorant he was. Totally ignorant. And using your ignorance, speaking so boldly, you denigrate a judge who cannot speak. Judges don't speak. So before you talk about a judge, you have to be sure that the thing you are saying is correct. You don't know what you are saying, just talk. Oh, they should have jailed him 15 years. What judge on earth can jail Aisha Huang 15 years? That's the point I'm going to make. No judge on earth in Ghana can jail Aisha Huang for 15 years. I'm going to show you why. Prof, this is not heart surgery. This is building society. This is law and development. This is law of which you have demonstrated yesterday that you are completely ignorant. And out of your ignorance, you are denigrating people who also have an image to protect. A young woman who's a high court judge, she has an image to protect. You sit down, high surgeon, and you just say anything about her. And now you let Ghanaians begin to think that somehow or rather there's something untoward that happened and the judge should have done something and didn't do it. That is very, very irresponsible of leadership. Totally irresponsible of people who are opinion makers in Ghana to be doing these kinds of things publicly. I'm going to show you how. Okay, so The Minerals Commission law is what decides the punishment for Aisha Huang. Now, the NDC people have been supporting Frimpong Boateng, which is okay. Some MP people to support Frimpong Boateng. Some CP people support Frimpong Boateng. I support Frimpong Boateng too. But here, this is the law. I'm going to show you the law. Okay. So, Minerals and Mining Amendment Act 2015. This is the 2015 law. Section 99 of Act 703 amended. The principal enactment is amended by the substitution for sections 99 of 99. Offenses and penalties. 1. A person who sells or buys minerals without a license granted under section 97 or 104 or without a valid authority granted under this act or any other enactment commits an offense and is liable, it is the most important part, and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not more than 3,000 penalty units, apologies to Joe FM, 3,000 penalty units, or to a term of imprisonment of not more than 5 years or both. This is the prevailing law in 2015. This is the law. This is the law in 2015. So in 2015, if you do something in 2015 or in 2016, your charges, the maximum any judge, so I said no judge on earth can give Aisha Huang any sentence apart from 4.5 years. No judge on earth can do that. Because this is the law that limits you as a judge. And I'm going to show you how a judge is limited. Okay, so this is 2015's provision. This is this provision that is going to guide people when they go to court. That they shall be charged with, if they are found guilty, 3,000 penalty units or a term of imprisonment not more than 5 years or both. Okay, I switch it here. Now, I'm in 2019. This is the amendment. So this is NDC's prescribed punishment for mineral mining offense, galamsey, let's call it that. This NDC's punishment for galamsey offenses is 3,000 penalty units, not more than 5 years in jail. This 2015, enacted by the National Democratic Congress. They should come and tell us, why did they enact this law? They should come and tell us, all those MPP, NDC apparatchiks who are talking about galamsey as if it is an Akufo-Addo creation. This is the law that they enacted to punish galamseyers. It's a good law, it's not a bad law, but these are the facts that they must speak to. Okay, now if you come to 2019, which is the one that Akufo-Addo passed, because he felt that there should be a stiffer sentence, it's as follows. A person who buys or sells minerals without A, license in accordance with section 6, 82, 97, or 104, or B, a valid authority granted under this act or any other enactment, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 10,000 penalty units and not more than 15,000 penalty units, and to a term of imprisonment of not more than 15 years and not more than 25 years. Not less than 15 years, not more than 25 years. It's the law that Akufo-Addo passed. 2019, Parliament passed it. Sent in by the amendments of the Minerals Commission through the Attorney General. So Akufo-Addo's punishment for galamsey is 15 to 25 years. NDC's punishment for galamsey is 5 years. I'm not making any politics out of it. I'm just giving you the facts. You can do what you want with it. Those of you are writing it down and those of you are interested, you can do what you like with it. But this is clearly the fact. And that's the problem of what we do here. We do things people don't like it, but it is always very, very factual. The fact is that 2015's punishment given by NDC people is this: 5 years in prison. That's what NDC gave. Akufo-Addo comes and looks at it and says, no, I'll change it. And he gives it 15 to 25 years. Okay, now let's go to the 1992 Constitution. You see how blatantly Frimpong Boateng spoke, how ignorant he was, and how he should be apologizing to that lady, the High Court judge. Frimpong Boateng should be apologizing to her for denigrating her image before right-thinking people at the Joy FM forum yesterday. The way he spoke sheepishly, just spoke anyhow against the judge, as if the judge has done something wrong. But Frimpong Boateng was speaking out of palpable ignorance of law and development. This is the 1992 Constitution. Article 19.6 of the Constitution is as follows. Frimpong Boateng should read it. You shouldn't talk like that. If you are talking about nobody, it's okay. But you can't talk about another person who is also a public figure like you, who is also building her image. And then you stand there as a professor and just talk anyhow with ignorance because you have an agenda. It's wrong. We can't build a society like that. Frimpong Boateng is my father, but what he did is wrong. It's manifestly wrong, blatantly wrong, and it's wrong all day long, 24 hours. It is wrong. Can't do that in a society like this. You shouldn't do that. He should be. I'm really hoping that he will apologize at least to the Chief Justice, the Judicial Secretary, or to the High Court judge for the things you said, which indirectly denigrates her image before right-thinking people. Next time counsel appears before her or litigants appear before her, they say, oh, this is the judge who could have given Aisha 15 years and gave Aisha 4 years. Oh, I'm sure she took money. Oh, I'm sure. In a judge, now they all this car now. Now say Frimpong Boateng say, I didn't come to my man 15 years. And I'm man for Ghana, they all this car. That's what Frimpong Boateng created. He's a bad leader. Frimpong Boateng is a bad leader. Very bad one. This is what he's created. Tomorrow people appear before the innocent judge. This is what they are going to say. Because Frimpong Boateng said that the judge should have jailed Aisha Huang for 15 years when the judge was incapable of doing so by the law. Incapable. Listen. Article 19(6) of the Republican Constitution 1992. It says as follows. No penalty shall be imposed for a criminal offense that is severe in degree or description than the maximum penalty that could have been imposed for that offense at the time when it was committed. Go and read Article 19(6) to the old professor so that he can get some understanding of these things and stop his talking. The public life is not heart surgery. Heart surgery is great. It saves our lives. But public life is not heart surgery. Public life is law and development and sociology. He must understand it. He was a minister for environment. Is it heart surgery he was doing there? In environment, he was dealing with many things. And I like him because he has a passion for the environment. But these things he does, because you're angry with Akufo-Addo, you are denigrating a judge who is building her career. Is that not so irresponsible of Frimpong Boateng? Very, very irresponsible. Look at the Constitution. It says no penalty shall be imposed for a criminal offense that is severe or in degree or description than the maximum penalty that could have been imposed at the time the offense was created. At the time Aisha Huang was convicted, at the offenses that went to the court, based on which Aisha Huang was charged, are offenses that were committed in 2016. They were not committed in 17. They were not committed in 18. They were not committed in 19 when the law changed. And the Constitution says when you change the law, and you are punishing somebody, you punish them under the old regime at that time. This is so embarrassing. Frimpong Boateng, go and apologize to the lady. Go and apologize to the High Court judge. Frimpong Boateng may be asleep by now. He sleeps early. He's a very healthy man. He sleeps early. Tomorrow morning, tell him that his son was on Good Evening Ghana yesterday and was urging him to go and beg Madam, the High Court judge. Now, if Frimpong Boateng hears the woman's statement, what is Frimpong Boateng going to say? Listen to what the judge said. He said, I wish I had the right to impose the punishment under the current law. Justice Lydia Mafo noted before giving her sentence. Now, Frimpong Boateng, don't you feel sorry? Don't you feel embarrassed? Don't you feel ashamed? The woman you were insulting, the woman you were lambasting, the woman you were denigrating before the general public, these were her own words. He said, I wish I had the right. She is recognizing the limitation imposed on her by the law. She doesn't have the right to do that. And Frimpong Boateng comes and just talks like that. At the time Frimpong Boateng spoke against this woman, he didn't know that these were the woman's introductory words. He said, I wish I had the right to impose the punishment under the current law. She wishes that she could impose the 15 years under the current law. But Article 19(6) of the Republican Constitution, to which all of us have voted and to which the president is sworn to obey, that Article 19(6) precludes her from doing so. Then Frimpong Boateng goes to tell the general public that she has imposed a small sentence. He should have imposed a bigger one. And then what is he selling? He's selling into everybody's minds, oh, there's been some corruption. Oh, there's been some corruption. That's the danger of people like Frimpong Boateng. That's why I say he's a terrible leader. Bad, very, very bad leader, Professor Frimpong Boateng. Bad leader. Why do you do that? You're denigrating a High Court judge. Because you are a heart surgeon, you tell a High Court judge that you just use words to suggest that she's done something wrong. Listen to Justice Kolendi about these things. Here is Justice Kolendi, Supreme Court.
The leadership of the judiciary for some time now has been engaging the idea that we need to do one step further. At least will not make everyone a lawyer, but if everyone understands what we do, how we do it, why we do it the way we do it, then we will be better stewards of the people on whose behalf we exercise justice or administer justice. The leadership.
Professor Frimpong Boateng should go and see Justice Kulendi. Or Justice Kulendi, please go and see Frimpong Boateng and tell him that he should go and apologize to Ladyship Justice Lydia Marfo. Go and apologize to her for the things he said in the Joy FM forum, in the public forum yesterday. Now,